They say time heals everything. But after 5 years behind bars for a murder I didn't mean to commit, I've learned something different. Time doesn't heal, it haunts. When I stepped out of prison gates, the world felt colder. People stare like they knew my story, like they whisper my name when I pass by. Emily Grace, the woman who killed her lover, Nathan Cole. In a fit of rage, that's what they said. But what really happened that night? I'm still not sure I understand myself. I moved into a small apartment on the edge of Millbrooke, the same town that once promised forever. The walls were thin, the air heavy with silence. Every night, I replayed in my head the fight, the blood, the way his eyes went still. Then, one morning, an envelope slid under my door. No return address, just my name. Inside was a single photograph. Nathan, alive, he looked older, his hair shorter, standing in front of a gas station sign I'd never seen before. But it was him. The same scar above his lip, the same smirk he wore when he thought I wasn't looking. My hands trembled as I turned the photo over. On the back, one line was written in blue ink. You can't bury the truth forever. No one knew Nathan's handwriting better than I did. I'd memorized every curve of every letter from years of love notes and apologies. But this wasn't his handwriting. It was mine, AT first. I thought I was losing my mind. Prison does that to people, but the photo felt too real, too intentional. Someone wanted me to see it. Someone wanted me to believe. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat by the window, clutching the photo like it might answer me. The street outside was empty, except for one car, a black sedan parked across the road. It hadn't moved in hours. Around 2 a.m., I stepped outside barefoot, the cold biting at my skin. The car was gone, but something else wasn't. A second envelope on my doorstep. Inside, a piece of paper torn from an old notebook, and 4 words scrawled across it. You were never alone. I dropped it. My pulse raced. The streetlights flickered. Somewhere in the distance, I could hear footsteps. I turned to go inside, but my front door was open. I hadn't left it that way. Inside, the lights were on, and on the kitchen table, the one I never used, sat a glass of red wine. My favorite. Half full. Beside it, a note. See you soon. The wine was still warm. Someone had just been here, and I looked toward the window and caught a reflection. My own face, pale and terrified, and just behind me, for a second, another shape. A man's shadow, tall. Still, when I turned around, nothing. But I swear in that moment, I heard it. Nathan's voice. Soft whispering, almost laughing. Miss me? The photo slipped from my hand. When I heard his voice, my heart stopped. I froze in that kitchen, my breath catching on the edge of disbelief. For 5 years, I dreamed of hearing Nathan again, but not like this. Not from the shadows of my own home that I spun around. But there was no one there. The room was still, except for the faint sound of the clock ticking. I whispered his name. Nathan. Nothing. Just silence. Heavy, cruel silence. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat on the floor, staring at the wine glass, the photo, the note, pieces of a puzzle that didn't make sense. Why would someone make me believe he was alive? And if he was, why come back now? The next morning, I drove to the one place I'd never dared to return, the old lake house. It was falling apart, like a memory trying to disappear. The air was damp, thick with rot that I pushed open the door. Dust, cobwebs, empty bottles. And then, something new. A phone. My phone, IT was sitting on the table, still charged, even though I hadn't seen it since the night Nathan died. The screen lit up as I touched it. One message, sent yesterday. Come to where it ended, I knew that place, the lake behind the house, where I'd last seen him breathe. I walked down to the shore. The water was calm, too calm, like it was waiting. A fog rolled across the surface, and in the distance, I saw him. Nathan, that he stood there, half in shadow, half in mist. His clothes were torn, his eyes dark, unreadable. My chest tightened. You're not real? I whispered. You never buried me, he said. The world around me spun. I remembered the fight, the blood, but no grave. I told the police I couldn't remember. The trauma, the panic, the shock, it had all blurred into one long nightmare. But now, staring at him, I remembered everything. He hadn't died that night. He'd disappeared. Nathan stepped closer, the fog curling around his face. "You wanted me gone," he said softly. "So I left." "Then why come back?" I asked. He smiled, that same smile that used to make my heart ache. "Because you didn't just kill me once, Emily. You killed me twice. Once with your hands, and once with your silence." I shook my head. "You're lying." He stepped closer. The smell of the lake and something metallic, blood, filled the air. "You wrote those letters, Emily. You sent those photos. You needed me to exist so you wouldn't be alone." I backed away. My heel hit something in the mud, a body bag. I froze. The zipper was open halfway, enough for me to see what was inside. A woman's hand, pale, still, wearing my bracelet. The same one I was wearing right now. I looked down. My wrist was bare. When I looked up, Nathan was gone. Only the fog remained and my own voice whispering back to me from the lake. "You shouldn't have come back." The police found my car the next morning, abandoned near the water. They said there were no footprints, no signs of struggle. Only a half-empty glass of wine on the shore, and a photograph floating face down in the lake. No one ever found Emily Grace. But sometimes late at night, when the fog drifts over Millbrooke Lake, locals say they hear a woman's voice echoing across the water, calling out a name that never answers. Nathan, high voltage, the end.